let's this way.
Hello, everyone. It is Sledge here with my little brother, Sweet Lips, the sweetest lips in the West. And
Hello, everyone.
guys. Hey, look, we have a hot topic because, you know, we've been talking about children, children and stuff, and we will get back to that. But there's a lot of other things going on this here apps, on the apps in the world. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about it. And, we're going to choose our words wisely because, there are words that, we cannot use because everything is through AI and they tend to pick up words and, they come back. Anybody out there that's a content creator knows what I'm talking about. But we're going to talk a little bit about the current events and who is trending. And so we all know that Diddy is trending. And so it is called To The Point 101. Let's talk about it for a reason. Okay. So this here Friday, this is what we are talking about. Feel free to join us. Let me see if I have the old phone charged up for the ones who would like to call in. And let me pin this app for the ones that would like to come live and speak on it. Okay. So, as I said before, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that's trending. And this is just something that we have not spoken about it yet. So we're going to spend Friday. Happy Gossip Friday. This is Talk About It Friday. And we will talk about it on this here Friday. What is going on and what is your take and all the accusations, insinuations that is going on, like, you know, the misconceptions. First of all, let me just say that everyone is, well, not everyone, he is considered, what do they say, not guilty until he goes to trial? Is that how they say it?
Innocent until
You
proven
can't try
guilty.
them before they go to trial?
Yeah. Innocent until proven
Is
guilty.
innocent until proven guilty. And right now, there's a lot out there. So we're just going to say, um, we're going to use the word allegedly because there has been no trial. And right now, we're straight up going off of hearsay. And so, our opinion is really based off of, I really want to say what we see because at the end of the day, we can't say what we know because we personally do not know P. Diddy. That's what I want to say. We do not know P. Diddy. But according to the news, according to sources, um, you know, the things that has been done, the things that has been said, it looked like bars behind those bars would be part of his life now. So with that being said, little brother, why don't you go ahead and start off with your opinion? I'm going to charge up this phone to make sure that
Well, I would say my opinion is one, don't know, don't like to jump and accuse anybody. Don't wasn't there, don't know what happened. I believe there's two sides to every story. I believe everybody should have their day in court. And there are some cases where that some people see someone as a money grab. Why not get in on the act 20, 30 years later? Why not? Not saying that hey, something may have happened, some may not happen. It's just I look at it as certain things is the way that the world works. That's how it is. I mean, because when you sit around here and you assume, which, like I said, I don't want to, because I don't know. We weren't there just because somebody has been pulled into court, just because somebody was, let's say, supposedly, accused of doing certain things. We know how that goes in this world. It can be accused of a whole lot of things, but then when you go to court, the next thing you know, the person is either walking out of court or they're going to jail for much less than what they was accused for. Then you say to yourself, okay, then what was this big deal about? I mean, I don't get it. So I really don't know. And I don't know. I just don't believe in, I don't care who you are, beating nobody down about something I have no idea wasn't there. And there's always, they always said the whole saying is there's two sides to a story. In this story, there's 50,000 sides to it. I mean, there's so many sides, you don't even know what to believe or who's saying it. And next thing you know, you turn around here, somebody can tell you about how they was a part of the clique 20 years ago, but I can tell you all about it reading my book that's coming out. What the hell is that? Like, seriously? So you actually making money off of this. So you actually made a book and you want us to buy the book to read about something that we can hear at a trial for free. That's what gets me. It's like everything, when something happens to someone, everyone comes out the woodworks. Everybody got a story to tell. But no one had a story to tell then, but they got a story to tell now. Why? Because there's money to be made. Everybody's selling the book, or everybody's selling the story. Then when it comes down to when you look at it, everyone will be like, wow, I didn't know that part wasn't true, because somebody can tell you anything until they get up in court. And then when it goes back and forth, it's something totally different now. Then it's like, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that happened. I forgot. Oh, now you forgot. But when you was out here saying all this, you ain't bring up none of those things at all. That's why my opinion, I sit back and wait and see what happens, because in this world, it happens too many times that, we read about it, hear about it, jump to conclusions, and then it's all wrong. In this case, like I said, there's 50,000 sides to it. Who knows what's what, to tell you the truth? Who knows what's what? That's the way I see it.
I see it like
I really, truly don't know.
I truly don't know as well.
Somebody always say, if you wasn't in the room, don't talk about it. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what somebody told you. You don't know what they said. But you wasn't there. Things change all the time. Every time you turn around, the story changes.
I want to agree that gossip is gossip, but this is my take, and this is just me having my opinion. For the grand jury to indict you, there has to be evidence.
Well,
and so,
that's your opinion. Now,
there has to be enough evidence for them to indict them.
Listen, we've been around long enough that I even heard, and this is a fact, on TV lawyers say, you know what? The grand jury, a prosecutor can get the grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. In other words, they saying they can come with anything that sounds just right. But then, like I said before, then when it comes to court, it's a whole totally different thing. They only told, see, this is the thing that I learned. I learned this, and see, Sweet Lips follow it. I be following this stuff. Lawyers say only thing a prosecutor have to go in there and do is tell half the story, not even the whole full story. They give the grand jury what they want them to hear. And then all of a sudden, do you know how many people actually, if you look it up, and anybody out there, listen, look it up. How many people actually get indicted and half of them walk out the courtroom? You can indict anybody. That's just the easy part. The easy part is indicting somebody. It's not hard to do it. You just come with one thing you want them to hear, and they're going to be like, okay, that sounds good enough to me. Even a judge said that sounds good enough to me, because you have to prove it when you get to court. Then when you get to court, it's a whole different story.
Right. But I just believe that, me personally, and this is just my opinion on it, if you have the feds knocking on your, no, they ain't even knocking. You have the feds at your home. There has to be substantial evidence. They cannot go in on hearsay. They have to have enough people come forward and produce evidence. If you have pictures, you have audio, you have video, then you have to have your receipts. And if someone is producing receipts, then they have to act on it. You cannot just turn a blind eye and say, oh no, this is not true, because this is just a well-known public figure. If someone is accusing you of something, then you must act on it. If three or more
I agree with that.
people saying the same thing about you and adding to it, then it has to be something. Here's the thing. That story.
How about this? How about, say, if three or more people are saying something about you, right? You got three or more people that said something that those three say can be true to happen to those three, right? Then you actually turn around here and indict somebody off of those three. But now when you go to indict them, and then you actually go to get them indicted, you turn in those three into five, and you only talk to three. See, the whole idea, and I learned is the whole idea of a district attorney is to make things seem worse than what they really are. You have to actually convince them. And when you do it, when you get to court, you have to prove it there. But then when you get to court, a lot of things start changing. We're not gonna say no names, like you said. We on here. We try to keep it 100, but we all know. I'll say it again, and I don't have nothing to do with green color, whatever. I'm gonna say it. We know who I'm talking about. I just put it this way. They've been indicted so many times, but they still walking around. What do that tell you?
Let me tell you what it is.
Ain't been convicted of one crime, but they still walking around with over 100 more indictments and crimes that they committed, but they're still walking around. So it just seems like being indicted don't mean nothing. It all depends on what you got.
Let me tell you why it means something. It means something. Just 1 second. I'm just looking at.
See, I'm saying that, okay, if it means something, why is this person still walking around? They were indicted.
Let me tell
more
you
than
why
5 times,
walking around.
Convicted once, and still walking around like it just never happened.
Right. Let me tell you why.
The average person couldn't get away with that.
Let me tell you why Orange Man is still walking around. The Orange Man is walking around because all the crimes that he has been committed, have been accused of, and he has been tried for, and the ones that he has been found guilty of. How do I put this?
I don't even care. Here's the thing. Any crime that he's been found guilty of, then the law states once you've been found guilty, that all of a sudden that means you have a record.
When you have put the law into place yourself, you have some of these judges that, because you put them into place while
position
you were
that they're in.
office,
but then
they're going to move to do a little more protection. But this is the thing here. What being
But then how the
accused
law
of,
works
you're
fairly, if that's how that goes. How's
there's
the
no
law working
such
fair?
thing
What
as
that says
fair.
about the average person that's going to jail and they can't even get away with so much as stealing a loaf of bread, but yet this person can because of what? That makes no sense. And if you went to jail, when you come out, the first thing you do when you come out of jail, they tell you you lose your right to vote. You can't vote. You can't vote
Let me
for
just
if you
tell
got
you
if you got
why.
to win. That's it. You're
Because
done.
the crimes that's being alleged here against
A crime is a crime.
wait, but let me tell you now, there's a difference. Because
Huh?
if someone is saying that there were um
Okay, I
sex
can understand that.
slaves,
I understand.
there were
There's
drugs,
two.
people were being drugged, there were youth,
I
there
get
were
it.
men,
I
there
get
were
it.
women.
But I
It's
listen. I
different than
understand that.
somebody
But what I'm
saying
not
that
understanding.
somebody had grabbed him by the
Listen.
coochie.
Listen. I get what you're saying, but let's put it this way. What do that say to the people out there, to kids out there, to those that do a crime or whatever? That just says, well, they look at it like, well, if you got money and it all depends on who you are, you can get away with stuff. Because as far as I know, on the books, the law is the law. It don't make a difference who you are. If you've been
But you
convicted,
can't say
you've
that
been
if you
convicted.
got
That's it.
money, because according to um money, you know what I mean? The diddler have money.
Who?
The diddler. I like
I
that
mean,
name. But
yeah, you do. But see, even the money or not, but what I'm trying to say is that we in this world always keep telling people about the law. The law is the law, and the law works for everyone. You know, picking and choosing. It don't make a difference if your crime was less, more. Hey,
it does
this
make a
person
difference.
should be no
Oh
different
no,
than me.
it makes a difference. It makes a difference because the difference is either you're going to walk free or you're going to do time. Now, if to me, taking anything, any document, I want to say that belong to the people in this here United States, and that document can be used to commit any type of espionage, then you belong behind bars. Now, see, again, it is the people, the judges in the Supreme Court and everywhere else that he put in place. Our system has always been a Democrat or Republican. That is what you are. And they will always go for their own. And so to say that he had rights to take that document, it was already proven that he did not. To say that he had abused this woman, the woman said she was sexually abused. That woman won her case. So all of this, let's wait until the election is done to say whether he's going to serve time. And as a matter of fact, they're trying to drop all these charges, that everything that he's been accused of, they're trying to drop it. When you compare that to holding someone hostage, to simply putting something in someone's drink or food to alter their way of thinking, allegedly,
Well,
that
let's
is
be
just
let's
something
be fair.
totally
Let's be fair
different.
here. Let's be fair here. One, we both know there's no comparison. One is worse than the other.
Yes,
Now, okay, what was the name you said again? That was a good name. Forgot it.
the diddler
Okay, now we talk about the diddler.
or
One
the
is worse
orangutan
than the other, huh?
or the
You're just
orangutan.
crazy. One is worse than the other, but I'm just saying it's like, look, in this world, today's time, we just have to sit back and I say, let everyone has their day in court, and let's just
You
see what
have
happens.
to. You can have,
let's just
let me
see
tell
what
you the
happens.
worst thing to me. The worst thing is with any case, when you start leaking things to the public, you're trying someone by public. And so basically, what I don't like about that is that now, in order to get a jury, everyone's mind is tainted already. Everyone's going to look at you like, you know what I mean? But
But remember, the government. Remember, the government, the prosecutor. They the one who leaked all this out. They the one who leaked it out.
allegedly,
Allegedly, they're the one who leaked all this out. Allegedly, but how else would it get out?
because let me tell you how it would get out. It would get out because either they leaked
Oh,
it out,
let me
they
rephrase
leaked,
that. Allegedly, but let me rephrase that. I did see, and I say allegedly, but I did see on these news outlets that I don't know, was it the prosecutor or was it FBI? But I did see that they were actually on a new stating what the case was about. He was charged with this. This is what we found here. This. So basically, we're gonna say allegedly, but it was all over the news. They put it right there. This is all what we found, and this is what we do. So basically, they don't. I believe that you're right. It taints everything. You should just keep your mouth shut until you walk into the courtroom. Keep your mouth
but
shut. Don't
you
say nothing about nothing.
but you in the beginning you can't. In the beginning you have a right to come out and say, you know, whatever it is that you're saying, but the judge, if the judge puts no gag order on no one, and he can't write down because there's no trial that started, because now you even have Diddy's lawyers speaking out also. But you know, when it's just all said and done, it's just a sad situation. There were many victims, and if male and female, and if these allegations are the truth, then justice needs to be served. If
I
the
agree.
allegations are
I
true,
agree.
justice needs
I
to be
agree.
served. And let me tell you
But
what my other opinion is about this. When you get so high on your horse that you believe that you are untouchable, the world will always have a way of sitting you down when you are of color. That's just my opinion. The world has a
but you
way of sitting you down when you are of color. But the bottom line is, when it's all said and done, you cannot continue to move about this world violating people. You just cannot, because, you know, I see it as this. Um, there's male and females coming out. That side, there's no way that weight should be that equal. There's no way it should be that equal. When you play a game, when you play a game with the devil wins. When you play with the devil will always win. When you live your life on the edge and you allow money to change you, money to make you believe that you yourself is higher than God, that you yourself is a God, the devil always wins. And that's why you always have to be careful. The people you hang around, you know, because to me, I can be innocently going to a party and not knowing what is going on. And then the next thing, you know, I'm just thinking everything is cool. And the next thing I know, you know, I'm handed, you know, a drink and I'm drinking and I'm thinking it's cool, but not knowing that someone done put something in it and taking advantage of me, or, you know, or I feel like I took my child because you're a big name or you have a big company, and I say, I'm going to trust you. You betray my trust and you betray my child by violating them. So to me, what's done in the dark shall come to the light. That's how I see it. What's done in the dark shall come to the light. And right, no one was there. For sure, us on the outside was not there, but then there were people on the inside that were there. There were videotapes to show his character. You knocking somebody down and trying to flag them with a flower pot and dragging them. You know what I mean? It's like that speaks for your character. And for years you have denied. You started denying it. You denied it so much that there was a payoff that was quick. I'm not paying you nothing if I know I didn't do anything. But now suddenly you come with the receipt. Well, I'm going to try to silence you as much as I can. And, you know, saying that I'm going to give you this money and you cannot speak about it. And then suddenly you have a news station that gets a hold of the video. You didn't have to talk. A lot of these people, if you lean on them enough and they are on the lowest totem pole, they are going to remain quiet. They are going to remain quiet. They're going to remain quiet out of fear. They're going to remain quiet out of intimidation. You don't know if goons was being sent, what type of phone calls and text messages. You just don't know what was really going on for these people to secretly contact some type of law enforcement and say, these things are going on. This is what happened. Because if one person come, I'm going to look at it like, okay, so this happened back in 1777, and here you just bringing this to me. Like, why did you wait so long? So now I have to look at this here individual and say, you know what? What kind of pull do he have? Like, do he have the means to try to hush someone? But now if someone else come along and they're saying the same thing, now I got a couple of guys coming along, at some point, like, you know what? No, I have to, my job is to investigate. Just the way, the ex leader was investigated. Like, you cannot just have someone come and say that they were violated and then all of a sudden, like, it's no, that didn't happen. And to me, that's where we as humans get it wrong. We as fleshly people get it wrong. We start to allow, and this is just me speaking, we start to allow the devil to play mind games on us. We start to, no, that didn't happen. Like, there's a whole sheet of evidence, a whole box of evidence sitting right there in your face, and then you would still say that is wrong. And then suddenly color comes into it. Then suddenly, if this person did this and this person doing this, it doesn't matter if 50 people did it. 50 people were wrong. And in the end, 50 people still need to be held accountable for what they did. But right now, when they have you need to be held accountable for what you did. If what you were accused of, have your day in court, let the evidence come out. Now, these people that could be potentially witnesses, you have to make up your mind. If I come out and say, yeah, this is me and this is what I said, how many people in the world going to look at me and say, oh, you're the one who put him behind bars, and next thing I know, publicly I am being attacked And I don't know whether they come into my house. I don't know whether they're going to do something to my children. I don't know what is going to happen once I say that I am a victim and I have witnesses and I have receipts. See, that's when we get it wrong. We look at the individual and we want to praise them. But what about the people that have gone through this? Like mentally, physically, probably financially, because it messed with you mentally. You have suffered. And to say that you warrant this is wrong. The only thing I did was, people start, you just see a favorite. Oh, this is my favorite rapper. Whatever he did. Oh yeah. I'm going to trust this person. You're not thinking that this person is going to be a person that will violate you in the end. So that goes to show that stop worshiping idols, stop worshiping people, because when it's all said and done, you're going to treat this person like they're some type of god. Oh, he have a lot of money. Oh, he have airplanes, and he have fancy cars. He live in big houses. He do this and he do that. And guess what? When it's all said and done, he is still human. He is still in the flesh, and he is still bound to make mistakes. He is still bound to make some mistakes. So again, when we look at our favorite actor, musician, or whatever the case may be, when things come out about them that we have no idea about, like, there's no side to take, because you're trying to go off of what you see or in a video. Oh, how can he do this? He won some awards. How can he do this? You know what I mean? He produced this here record. He doing it because when it's all said and done, he's in the flesh. And really, honey, some of these people, and they don't call it Hollywood for no reason. You know what I mean? They are possessed. They have sold their souls to the devil, and he is not the only one. You best believe when it's all said and done, he will sing like a canary. He will sing like a canary. Oh, this is just the beginning. Honey, you gonna wait until the people that's over him come falling down. You sit there and the pastors that's been sitting there going to the to the little parties, the little touchy feely licky parties. You wait until you find out who they are. Everything you do in the dark will come to light. When you start to think that you are high and mighty and untouchable, you will get knocked down to where you started from. And the very, very people that was there by your side are the ones that's probably getting messages to you. You're on the inside and I'm on the out, and my name is mentioned, XYZ, you know what I mean? So even him to be in this position, knowing that there are people higher than him, there are people right now that's still functioning and partying and traveling, know that if their names are mentioned in anything, that it will be a price to pay. So you have your victims, and now he is a victim. Because, like I said, when it's all said and done, depending on who he chooses to take down, because when I fall, we all fall, then he has to make that decision. Do I sit here and take the rap for 200 people? Or do I save myself? Do I save my family? So he allegedly victimized people. Now you're the victim. It is law. It is law. It is law. Karma will come back on you when you believe that you can do all the devil's work. And this is why I always say that when it's all said and done, Satan has no friends. He will lure you when he will dangle things in your face. He will give you everything that is temporary. And when he is done with you, he will chew you up. He will spit you out. He will abandon you. And as a matter of fact, he will finish you himself by building a case so tight on you that you could shake them charges if you wanted to. Watch how you play with the devil. The devil wins. The only way he don't win is when you say enough is enough. I want to change my life around. I want to do what's right. And if, allegedly these charges are true, that's between him and God. And he has to, apologize to these people. Because I couldn't see why you would do something like that, knowing that you have little females of your own that you have helped produce. Allegedly, if this is what he did, but to say, it's a color thing, it's not a color thing. To say if 50 people did something that you deserve to get away with it too. No, 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 no. Because we already know how this wicked world works. Okay? If you have any type of melanated on your body, you're only going but so far before they remind you, just go sit down. Because at the end of the day, what? We still own you. That's just, it is what it is. There is no, 1 and 1 is 2 and 2 and 2 is 4. It's like, no. Because if 1 and 1 is 2, and I say I have the money to make 1 and 1 8, then 1 and 1 is 8. But if I get but so high and I'm telling you that 1 and 1 is 8 and you already made 1 and 1 is 20, guess who's going to get X'd out? My 8? Because 20 own, you own me. You own me. I am yours. So that is why when it's all said and done in this world, you have to watch how you move. You have to watch who you sit there and idle. You have to watch who you put before the Lord himself. Because if what you have, and who's to say that he didn't get a blessing from the Father, that the Father didn't bless him to just come up like this. But now all of a sudden, you're no longer even worshiping the Father. You're no longer thanking him because you think that you are God. See, that's where we make our mistakes. When we are blessed with something, now all of a sudden, we believe that we are as big as the Father, and we are not. When we're moving like that, and you have a man of cloth that sit there probably from Monday through Friday preaching the word about God and his kingdom, and even behind that congregation, you're over here in these dirty, lustful, sinful parties. So now I'm thinking in my head, hey, you bigger than me and you're the man of the cloth. And if you come to my tainted, Satan driven parties and there's nothing but Sodom and Gomorrah going on at these parties, and I see you over here, well, I'm going to assume that you done blessed everything I've done. And this is why when you call yourself representing the church, representing the body of Christ, you cannot sell out the Father for the devil. Because there are pastors, their names were mentioned, that was at the parties doing the do with everybody else, and you leave the party and you go put on a nice little suit and you grab a mic and you sit there and start preaching about who's a sinner and who's going to hell and who's doing this and who's doing that. Let me tell you what this is down to. We are in these last days. The Father is exposing people left and right. He's exposing people that's making a mockery of him. And if this man is going down, God's going to expose everybody else that was in the dark doing their business.
I want to say allegedly, there were lots, hundreds of famous people there. Famous,
They all
famous
going down.
people. And then here's the thing. I just want to say this. And those that were there, and see, that's another thing too. That's why I said we don't know, we don't cast stones because allegedly those that were there allegedly already said, I knew about certain things that was going on there. And some said I knew about none of that. I ain't never seen it. Never. When I was there, it was just a party, this and that. I know there was other rooms and all that, but I ain't never been in none of those. I don't know. So that's why I say that we can't sit there and accuse everybody that was there, because there was many of famous people. That don't mean that they indulged in anything. That don't mean they seen anything. That don't mean they knew about anything. Because like they said, I was there for a party. All that other stuff, I ain't never seen it. Never seen it. Never been around it. Had no idea. And that alone in itself can be true. Because let me tell you how that works. People that do things like that know who to invite to come into this red door and who is not going to go into the red door. And so that don't mean all these famous people was indulging in these things, because they can have no idea none of this was happening. Like they like some said, I ain't never seen it.
There was
never
the
happened.
after party. The regular people came, but see, that's how you cover things up. Hey, I'm gonna throw me a party, and you know what that song said? After the party, after the party is the hotel lobby, or after the party, there's the after party. There's the after
but there
party.
are those that, but there are those that stood and said, I'll say it again, allegedly, and we all it's out there in social media. Famous people that said, I was there after the after party. I was there. See, when some people say, hey, when the freak off was going on, I didn't see it. That's probably in a whole different wing of that house, a whole different room. I ain't seen none of that. So
I couldn't what you're saying, though. That's probably in a whole different wing of the house. Right. That's where it's at. And
yeah,
so
that's why I'm saying we
went
cannot
all the way to the other part of the house.
See, here's the thing. When you look at social media, what I don't like is people turn around here. See, that's the thing about with this world and us as human beings. You know, sometimes we act a damn fool and always want to jump to conclusion and believe everything you see. You got so many pictures out here on social media about all these famous people that was at this party, and half of them probably had nothing to do with none of that was going on in there. I was there just having a good time. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. That ain't me. Nothing to do with none of that.
But that's why I said,
if so, those that say that's why there's those that say, well, I was there. I seen XYZ, you know, little something happening over there, but they ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't nothing to me. Nothing to me at all.
And those are the ones that need to, like, if you were there and you know you didn't see it, then that just means that you did not see it. But if it is a known fact, allegedly, that after the parties is just parties, there are people that have given interviews or have said, you know what, he tried to take me shopping 4 times and offered me $50 million to take me shopping. And he said, I don't allow men to take me shopping. There are videos where, you know, he was with these young boys, you know what I mean? And the boy looked like he was under the influence of something, allegedly, but I mean, he was slurring his words. There is a video with him with a known fighter, that's known. I mean, he bit Evander Holyfield's ear off, and he tried to put his hand down on the couch. And the old boy said, it's going to be something if he'll take his hand off the couch or something. But, you know, when you look at those different videos, it just have you thinking like, you know what? Yeah, but, you know, humanly, because we're all in the flesh, we take what we hear and we run with it. And then we start to think this is impossible. But everything is possible. Everything is possible. He will have his day. They will present their case. He will have his lawyer presenting him. But when it's all said and done, to think that there is no way that someone of his stature could commit such heinous crimes and acts, you can't say no. But when it's all said and done, what you can do is pray for healing for his victims. If there are victims, pray. Pray for him, because now he's a victim. He's a victim. You have put yourself in a position. The lifestyle you live is what will bring your character down. So, did you assassinate your own character?
Allegedly, I just gonna put it this way, as people see it. Not only did he allegedly put himself in this position, as people would say, allegedly, he didn't only put himself in there. There are people that put him in that position. There's no way he can have got away where he got. There are people above him that put him, that help him get to where he at.
Let me tell you
Because
again.
this is allegedly, this is part of the world that they in. This is part of it all. It didn't start with him, and it's not going to end with him.
No,
it did not start, and you
start
hit
with
a
him.
lot. It didn't start with him, and it's
didn't
not
start
going
with
to end.
him. It's not going to end with him. But let me tell you something. That is the world and the gamble that you face when you start to believe in your right mind, because you have gotten away with something for so many years, or you have silenced people for so many years. Again, if you have any kind of melanated color.
Okay, but let me say this. And for those out there know, first of all, I look at this allegedly. For him to get where he is and for him to do what he do, that's because, if so, allegedly, he was shown the way by those that have been doing it for years and getting away with it. And for those, like they said, have been out there in Hollywood, this is so far beyond him. It's this. And here's the thing: you always hear somebody talking about allegedly this old Illuminati stuff, and then people talking about it's true. Yes, it's people that you would have no idea that's in charge. It's big. It's big. I think what happened was allegedly he got sloppy. He got sloppy.
He not only did he get sloppy,
and he got too big for his britches, because like you said, he thought he was untouchable. He thought he could be like those others, and you're nowhere near like those others. You thought, hey, I can be just like them,
and you're not, and you're not.
You're nowhere near like them at all.
Right, but that's what I said. If you were trying to live a lifestyle that someone else was living, and that person made you, and I'm coming to you and I'm saying, hey, look at here, sweet lips, calm that down, calm that down, calm that down. You're bringing too much attention. Calm that down, calm that down. Now you thinking you so big that you no longer have to listen to anything I've said. And I've been getting away with it. And I got this. And I don't need you to tell me what to do. Now I'm going to bring you down. I will take you down. I will show you that at the end of the day, without me, you're nothing. You're nobody. Everything I gave you, I will strip you down. And who's that? That's the devil. I will give it to you in one hand. I will show you a good time. I will put up so many smoke and mirrors. And the moment you try to act like you no longer have to serve me, Satan, myself, I am going to bring you down. That is the way of the world.
I just want to say this. There's I can't get the name, but there's two. One with it's an actor. Wow, damn, oh man. Anyway, it's a movie about a cop. It's a lot of stars in there, and this cop, which is the other guy, the other black, he was a chief of police, and he was bribing all these high officials, from lawyers to doctors, you name it, and he was doing all these things, and he was saying, and he had all these people in his pocket because he had all this information. I mean, he had a wall of money and information, and they could not touch him because he had they future in their hand. He knew. Finally, the detective that finally was putting things together brung his own boss down. But then when he did, I'm gonna get the two names. These are two famous actors, and he said to him, "Well, look what I got here," because he took the whole wall. He got wall of money, 81. He was like, doctors, lawyers. He's like high officials. He's like, I own them all. I got all the dirt on them. Who was sleeping with boys? Who got all the dirt? And that cop once said to him, when the cop came in there, detective, he arrested his chief of police, and then the other cop came and said, "You did something good." And he was like, "You would see people would walk you in when they walk around the hallway, just wave and nod." And he said, because the problem was he got too big. He thought that he was bigger than everybody. And they wanted to bring him down, but they didn't know how to do it. But they pointed and toward you to give you the information, to you do the job that they couldn't do. And then he said, basically telling him, from here on in, those people owe you a favor. And he looked like, I don't want no favor. He was like, I just did what needed to be done, because the fact that he was not only that he's a cop, he was killing cops, he was forging things, all these things he can get away. That's how and I look at it like that's how sometimes the world works. You get all this information on these people, and you just think you're bigger than them, and yet they bigger than you. They're gonna find a way to bring you down.
Bring you back down. They're gonna find a way. And
Yep.
the sad part about it, what people don't understand is that lifestyle that you live, if you're not in compliance with the big people, your shame falls back on your children.
But I think also too,
down.
yeah. But I think also, to me, I think a lot of people get caught up with the power. The power. It just the power. It's like, let me give you for instance. That has nothing to do with it. It's like for instance, being a congressman, a president. It's that you have this power, and you just think, I can do anything I want. I can fool these people. I can control. And it's like, then and the thing about what gets me with them is, instead of them just doing what's right, it's like when they get caught, then they humble all of a sudden. Like, oh, I didn't mean. Yes, you did.
That's so true.
The power. That's like some people that in Congress, a lot of them want it because they want the power. The power, because nobody's actually doing right. Everybody's sitting here telling the story, spinning it. But what right are you doing? You got the power, but how are you using it? You're using it for your selfish needs and others. And you don't want to leave this because this is so good for you. This is good. I don't want to leave this. Not
and
all.
The
not
money
one bit.
is good, and the flying here and there's good, and people come and invite you, and you have to buy a ticket.
Yeah, a friend of mine once said, you notice how some Congress people, you notice how when they get elected, they go in poor, but they come out rich. They go in poor, but then they come out rich.
Jobs. That's why they be trying to get. But when it's just all said and done, this is what I want to say before we leave. What's done in the dark shall come to the light. When you start to worship money, and we all know that the money is the root of all evil, it will soon betray you. Money will soon bring you down.
I agree, but we also got to put it this way. That is the way that the world is shaped. That's the way the world have made it seem for years. Like, if you got to have all this money to do the things you need, and it's unfair, and it's not really that true. Because here's the thing, you got some poor people that live just fine. They're just fine. They content or the blessings that they got. I'm good. I'm good.
The way of the devil in this world belongs to the devil. This world belongs to Satan, and that is what he will do. He will be the one sitting there. And let me tell you something. And no one knows who the Antichrist is because he has not been exposed yet. We just don't know. But what we do know is that in this world that we are living in today, it is so much hate going on in it. And no matter how big you get, the devil hates you. He hates you. He's about tearing up families. He's about ruining marriages, ruining lives, ruining your financial success. And the Father is about sitting you down when you fail to give him the glory and praise him and live the way he had intended for you to live. So again, we live in a world we live with a double-edged sword. Either we're going to do good or we're going to do bad. And when you choose the route on that road that is wide, that belongs to the devil himself, you will pay in the end. You always pay in the end. So, with that being said, hold on, guys. Let me just throw this out here before we go. Don't forget to shop www.tothepoint101.com for your latest merch. There, guys, there. So whatever you told you, I've been working. You see what I've been doing, right? So, but guys, this is Sledge and my little brother Sweet Lips. And like I said, it is called To The Point 101. Let's talk about it. And sometimes we have to move away from what it is that we are discussing at hand, and then we will go with what's happening around the world. What is trending? What is trending? And that right there is trending. He has his opinion. I have my opinion. You have your opinion. And what we do know is that a person is innocent until proven guilty. And what I want to say before we leave is that we need to remember, if you don't have Christ in your life, if you're not serving the Father and you choose to stay in this world and do the worldly things, Satan will destroy you each and every time. He will destroy your life. He will destroy your finances. He will ruin your relationships because we allow it. We allow ourselves to worship idols. And the Bible already tells us we cannot worship idols. We are to worship the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and that is it. When you lose your way, sometimes the Father has a way of sitting you down. And when he sits you down to bring something to your attention, and you allow the devil to take over, the choice was always yours. Remember that. The choice is always ours. And we cannot go around worshiping houses and planes and singers and rappers. And it's almost sad to say that really in the end, because the people of the cloth tend to fall because they are human. Sometimes, I just look and say, even some of these well-known pastors, even a pastor that's not well-known, you just have to be careful. I'm telling you, you put God first. You thank Jesus for the 39 stripes that he took. You thank the Holy Spirit for bringing awareness to you and showing you areas in your life that you need to be focusing on. When you lose that focus, Satan always comes. Satan always comes because he's testing you. And once he grab a hold of you and he see how easy it was to destroy you without you even putting up a fight, without you even calling on the person that you say you love the most, which is the Father, he will finish you. Because would he know you can't even worship the Father the right way? So there's no way that I will keep you in my camp to do any bidding for me because you're not loyal. You're loyal to no one but greed. So, but that being said, it is Sledge, it is my little brother Sweet Lips, and we will see you Monday, same bat time, same bat channel, and we are out of here. Happy Friday.